Expensive back-to-school costs. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. I want to talk about this article discussing back-to-school costs here from Yahoo Finance. But I must admit, I have a confession to make, everyone. I have become obsessed with buying Aceto power tools, the battery tools. Hang on, wait. I got me a new little... Oh, this is awesome. I wish it was sponsored. If I can get sponsorship, it'd be great. Little branch saw, pruner. Little chainsaw that you put on a stick that runs off a battery. So I'm not there cutting it by hand. It's awesome. It's so easy. It's like cheating. It makes yard work cheating. So this is where I've been splurging. I'll probably go and buy a nail gun today. Don't tell Rachel that I need it. I've got to nail some weatherboards back up. It's justified, isn't it? It's completely justified, guys. I know you've got my back. So yeah, let's talk about school costs, because when I see this, I'm realizing how much I've been buying on tools and little things like that. But at the very least, Rachel can justify it by saying you're not getting a birthday present now, or you're not getting a Christmas present, you spend it on tools. So that kind of evens out, doesn't it? Anyway, guys, I guess this is why when I get in the car, my phone tells me how long the trip is to Bunnings. It's kind of worrying. So, too much to handle. Aussie parents face a brutal $780 back-to-school bill. And this adds up. I mean, we are doing distance education schooling, and we've got to buy because we're in primary school, we've got to buy all of these not textbooks, workbooks that the kids will use and work through. We've tried to scan them and reuse them and photocopy them. We've actually got a proper photocopier here, but it is a mounting cost that adds up, everyone. So, Australian parents will spend as much as $780 in the back-to-school rush, with finance experts calling on shoppers to take simple steps to save. Well, this should be, if anything, this should be a legitimate family tax deduction. They should be able to write this off. The average family will spend $780 on supplies for secondary school students, including textbooks, uniforms, and stationery, and you find analysis of Kmart, Officeworks, and Athlete's Foot spend during spending data is real. Is Athlete's Foot like a... I keep thinking it's a fungal disease on your feet. Anyway, it's slightly lower for primary school children, with families spending $570 on essential supplies. Now, we've got 6 kids. Right now we have Mina is in school, Frederick is in school, and Jojo's about to go in school. So next year we'll have 3 kids in school. Unfortunately, we can... our school fees are quite cheap for the school that we're going to, but we still have to spend on these essential supplies for kids. And it's necessary for education. It's been a rough year for Aussie families, and for some the cost of textbooks, uniforms and laptops is too much to handle. Find a personal finance expert and mother, Kate Brown said. I mean, this is one thing I was surprised. When we did a term in day school, like every kid needed to have an iPad. And you think that may sound good, but that means they have to do all their maths work on the iPad. They have to do all, check in and get homework from the school on the iPad. And I want to reduce screen time. We have in the house we're in now, we've got several computers set up in the living room. So if the kids want to play a game or watch some YouTube, we can observe and see what they're doing there. But you still need to do mathematics, I think, with pen and paper, particularly in primary school. You want them learning using their haptic senses as well. You want them using touch and feel as they're figuring these things out. Many struggle to foot the back-to-school bill, hot on the heels of Christmas expenses. After the Christmas spending blowout, well, that's what you have to learn to not. You've got to manage your budget. January could just add more financial pressures for family, she added. Excursion costs the average family of a primary school student $122 per year and $267 for secondary school students. I remember there was a kid at my high school. He was a Russian immigrant, and he couldn't afford any school books. He's here with his uncle. His uncle thought they were all included, but no, they weren't. You've got to pay for them all extra. So, I mean, there you go, guys. nationally spent billions of dollars on these things. However, there are ways parents can save, and it starts with a few simple acts. It comes to losable items such as lunch boxes and water bottles. Stick to budget-friendly brands. There's no point in buying something fancy if you're going to have to replace it 6 months later, Brown said. See, we don't have to worry about this. We don't have to. This is one of the advantages of distance at home schooling. We don't have to worry about lunch boxes. We don't have, we eat at home as a family. We usually have a big breakfast. There you go. That's an advantage. I remember back when kindy, we had one of our kids in kindy back in Yeronga, and this place was more expensive than what we were paying now for private distance school. And the hours were tiny, and then they still begged you to do this stuff, that stuff. They wanted you to mow the lawn, they wanted you to raise money, they wanted you to do all this stuff, and they were all funded. And then the kids go there, and they're learning a bunch of hippy-dippy songs and stuff like this, and I couldn't believe it. Yeah, it seemed a bit overkill. So, and critically labeling these items will go a long way. Replacing several versions of the same product throughout the year will quickly add up, so it makes sense to label everything. Well, that's what I remember my mother did that to every pencil. You can extend the lifespan of backpacks and shoes by shopping around for something durable, but keep in mind you need to replace your kids' shoes regularly as they grow. Avoid forking out on a new uniform every year by buying a few sizes up. It may look a bit large on them now, but they'll quickly grow into it. Start shopping early and look out for back-to-school sales. This can save you hundreds of dollars over the year, especially on pricey items like laptops. So the kids need laptops now for school. Do they? I mean, you can build one at home, a rig, an old workstation. That's what I intend. Well, that's what we can get away with. So let's have a talk about this one, guys. I mean, this is it. Even here in Australia, where we're meant to have free education for everyone, it is expensive. It does add up, and there is a cost to it. One concern I primarily have with our education system is the amount that they try and squeeze into the curriculum. They've got so much in the curriculum that it's just nuts. They try and fit everything in, and then we're getting worse results. Guys, they overload it. Maybe you wouldn't need to spend so much money on all these different books and things and rubbish if you didn't have to, if they didn't overload the curriculum. I'm thinking back to my high school days. We had these stupid activities that they wanted us to do. I think, emotional health or sex ed or stuff like that. And we'd buy these books, and you'd never use them. You'd use them like once or twice. I remember in grade 11 and 12, or grade 12, we had English, and our teacher never turned up. Most of it was just doing find-a-word problems in Reader's Digest. Good old public school there, Miami High, guys, all the way. Anyway, I mean, you've got to learn to budget. You've got to find ways to save money. And I honestly think there'll be a huge increase in surge, particularly here in Queensland, of people moving to distance ed. Not for this reason, but for others. What do you reckon, guys? What are your hints and tips for saving on school supplies? Let me know in the comments down below. I just pretty much go to Officeworks. Anyway, thanks for watching. I want to check out this video here about, how most of Queensland will have Omicron, guys. It's inevitable. What do you reckon? So maybe school supplies aren't the only thing to worry about. Not that I'm worried about Omicron. Take care. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.